Now, players in the digital services sector are opposed to introduction of the significant economic presence tax in this year's budget as a replacement of digital services tax, under which taxable profit shall be deemed to be 20% of the gross turnover and income tax charged at the rate of 30%. On the other hand, financial service providers say the proposed increase of both excise duty and VAT on financial services could slow growth of the sector and negatively affect financial inclusion. Regina Manyara has compiled views from various businesses and professionals on how the measures proposed in this year's budget are likely to affect the different economic sectors.
Honest, financial services are already subject to excise duty at 15%. The understanding when excise duty was being introduced is because VAT was not levied on these financial services. There's even a proposal to revise this excise duty rate from 15% to 20%. So levying additional 16% on them will basically take the transactional taxes on financial services to give or take 39%.
Our digital services tax, which is currently at 1.5%, but the way the bill is framed, in a lot of words, is to increase the rate from 1.5% to actually 6%. That's what we are trying to do. And while this is informed by what is happening globally, either at the OECD level and what other countries are doing, we want to have the significant economic presence tax go together with minimum top-up tax. And basically the election at a global level is to decide, do we want to do digital services tax or do we want to do minimum top-up tax? So that if we go the digital services tax route, then we don't go through the route of global minimum tax.
Plastics are subject to excise tax, glass is subject to excise tax, cartons are subject to excise tax, which are critical components in a finished excisable good product. We are saying that the credit be extended both to raw materials and also to packaging materials.
A number of investors have already put in their money for construction of these houses on the understanding that the tax that they are to pay is 15%, and therefore repealing this particular preferential tax rate then creates a problem. And therefore, Chair, we propose that we put a proviso that the 15% will continue to apply so long as the construction company had received the applicable licenses from the county government before the commencement of this proviso.
Harmonize the due dates of the payment of withholding taxes to 20th. I know we had put it on to 10th, but further consultations, we are saying anything withholding, we should harmonize it to 20th.